You know what they say, right? That the truth will set you free. But first, you're gonna be upset. There are gonna be some things said in this movie that will upset some people. Truth said to your face that you don't usually hear. And the brothers telling you that truth, they already got their boardroom hustle on, their street hustle. They're making money, they're bringing their A game. They're just trying to see that you can bring yours. The truth is, about 75% of white kids graduate with their high school class. For Asian kids, the number goes up a little bit to 77%. And for African American kids, the number goes down to 50%. That's right, we have a 50% dropout rate, and it's mostly young brothers. If you're thinking about dropping out of high school, what are you dropping out to do? Well, we want to be the success we see, right? So what do we see? We see the ball players balling, we see the rappers rapping. That's what we want to be.
Tell me, man, a lot of brothers come up and think, oh, I could just jump into the hip-hop game. What do you say to them?
You know, everything is easy once you take the time to learn how to do it. Whatever game you want to get into, G-A-M-E, then, you know, you have to learn it. And then after learning it, you got to try to master it, or you got to try to bring your talents out through the structure of what the game is all about.
A lot of cats that come up to me and say that they thinking about dropping out of high school to get in the rap game. I just plead with them to you know, don't make that mistake. You know, it isn't as easy as you think it is.
They see these glamorous lifestyles. They think that these people somehow were lucky.
There's so many people that have the dream to become a successful entertainer.
The window of people who actually make it is very, very small.
Only like 1 in a million are able to achieve that dream.
I do a lot of workshops with black boys and Latino boys around the country, and these young brothers, all they aspire to be is 3 things: be a rapper, a ball player, or a hustler.
So you want to play pro basketball? Well, ask yourself a critical question. How many players do they need each year? Maybe 1 to 2 a team? Well, that'll be about what? 30 new players getting into the NBA each year? 30 players out of millions and millions of us want to play pro basketball. Only 30.
Being educated has helped me on the court. Some of the best basketball players that I've ever played against are the smartest basketball players, because you can depend on them being able to execute a play.
It's all about your intellectual strength. And if you think it's about physically and what you can do with your body, that could be taken away from you in an instant.
Almost all of my success is attributed to my education.
Plan on dropping out. Just give you a little scenario of what might happen. Nothing.
Think of an office building with a lot of doors. You got all these students going in these doors, and coming out the other side is doctors, lawyers, school teachers, anything you want.
Now imagine there's only 2 doors to that same building, and one says rapper and one says ball player. And now you got all of us, all the brothers, running for those 2 doors. So imagine everybody else is shooting at a really big target, and we're shooting at a little narrow target. And our target has a timer on it. If we don't get through the doors by the time we're 30, it's game over.
Have you Thought about your future? Because the U.S. military is looking for a few good men, and that could be you.
For a lot of us, the military is a great way to escape some of the environments that we grew up in the inner cities. And the greatest thing the military offers, I think, is an equal playing field. The downside of joining the military is we are at war right now, and it's a very dangerous war.
Here's where the story gets ugly. You're on the street, you got no education, you didn't make it in the hip-hop game, you didn't make it in the ball game, and you didn't enlist in the military. You still gotta eat, you still gotta make money, you still gotta pay rent, you still want all the fly lifestyle, the women, the jewelry, all of it. So how do you get it legally? Well, the catch is, you don't.
Hey, yo, come here, man. Got that fire for you.
Hey there, baby.
Hey, I got something for you right here. Something special tonight.
I got a proposition for you. You wanna make some money? In these young years, when you're thinking about what I wanna do with my life, get knowledge, get smarter. The earlier you drop out, the quicker you're on your way to failure.
Holla at me for a second. You wanna holla at noob?
Where I grew up, there was the predators and the prey. You were gonna be one or the other.
I dropped out of school when I was in the 9th grade.
I didn't learn how to read and write until I was 28.
I'm like, yo, you do a stick up, it takes you 5 minutes, you get it over with, you got cheddar in your pocket, you on your way.
When I was 17, I was arrested for armed robbery. I'm looking at like 10 to 25 years. They talk about trialing me as an adult.
I got caught up in that drug trade.
The money was so great where I didn't want to stop.
6 years in New York State prison.
I was fortunate to get the 5 years I got because I could have been facing a life sentence.
From the store, he bought it with the money he got from his chores. He robbed a candy shop, told her lay down on the floor, put the cookies in the bag, took the pennies out the drawer. Little Alex got a gun he took from his dad that he snuck in the school in his black book bag, his black nail polish, black boots and black hair.
If you do not have a good education, you will not get a good job. If you do not get a good job, you are fast-tracked into prison. For-profit prisons are beginning to project the number of prisons they will build in 20 years based on 3rd and 4th grade reading scores.
Failing schools equals successful prisons. It is not deep.
There are more black men in lockdown in prison than there are in college. That's a fact. 1 out of 3 black men is going to end up in prison. That is a fact. You understand what I'm saying? They're ready for you. There's a direct line from the schoolhouse right to the jailhouse.
I think a lot of the decisions we make would be better if we valued the relationship with our children. If we understood that if I take this chance, that 2-year-old child of mine is going to be without their father for 4 years. Every little boy, every little girl I know wants their daddy with them.
You're not the only one doing time. You have children, your children are doing time. Their mom only can do so much. And when she's at work and you're away in prison, I mean, the streets is gonna raise them.
You gotta pimp the system. You can't let the system pimp you. The system wants you to drop out. The system wants you to be a criminal because they can make money from you in the penitentiary.
When we were incarcerated, most of us had work numbers. What I mean by work number, we were actually getting paid to do a job.
The whole prison system here in the United States of America is a multi-billion-dollar business. A lot of these prisons are privatized.
What are private prisons gonna do? They're gonna try to make money. You know, that's what they're all about, how much money they can make so that their stocks could go up.
Somebody's got to make those bulletproof vests. Somebody has got to make those electrical wires. Somebody's got to make that stuff. So why not you?
They allow companies to come in and use the labor, cheap labor, because when you're in prison, people in prison get paid like $15 every 2 weeks. So if you're sitting there thinking you can't have a regular minimum wage job out here in the street, think about that for a minute.
Why were African Americans brought to America? You know the answer. We weren't brought here to run for president. We weren't brought here to be lawyers or doctors, even ball players. We were brought here to be slaves. That's right, that's the truth. We were brought here as cheap labor to work the cotton fields. Now, flash forward 400 years. Cheap labor is being outsourced to foreign countries, so they don't need us the same way. If you get a